I don't think so.
Probably not.
Probably, Krishna Kesava said probably not. They don't have a very good connection there.
Okay.
Still in Navadvip area.
Dhanavad Rasaraj Prabhu.
Dandavas Krishna Keshava Prabhu.
How was your family reunion?
It was okay. They have celebrating what they call Pagua, like holy.
Pagwa.
With coloring powders and
Oh, holy.
yeah.
Did you have to get colored?
I'm sorry.
Did you get colored?
Yes. They were playing in the backyard.
I'm playing in the backyard.
Yeah.
The real question is, did you color anybody else?
No, actually, when they reached home, they were already playing. The fun. They had some, like almost 15 people in the family. And they also later on they have another thing that they call chautal. That is like singing some songs appropriate for Holi, and they made like two groups, and the two groups with one chanting something, and then the other one answer playing cartels and a drum.
Are they all healthy?
Yes, Maharaj.
Uh, no mask or anything, huh?
Well, I was wearing my mask,
Oh, good.
but all the
I heard.
people, sometimes they just don't wear it, and
I know. I heard
some
one
of them they
family.
have vaccination already. Some of
Uh,
them, and
okay. No, I heard one family that got together and they all got sick together.
yeah,
Some died.
yeah, that happened.
A tablecloth. See it? Dhanyavad Sumadevi.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Dandavas.
Dandavat Pranam.
Do you have to work today, Uba? You have to work? Can she hear me? Oh, I think your mic is muted.
Dhanavad Sumadevi. Sripad Puri Maharaj was asking if you have to work right now.
She can't hear, I think. She looked like she was ready for work, too. Had a uniform?
I think she was at work already.
Oh,
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. I didn't hear properly before.
okay. No, it looked like you were working. Are you at
Yes,
work?
yes,
Yes.
Maharaja. I am working still.
Okay.
Another 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
What do you do?
In customer service, car park.
Huh?
Just watching CCTV camera,
What's it?
and doing some customer service. How are you, Maharaj?
Service.
Yes,
I'm okay. Service? That's what a devotee does all the time. Service, huh? Customer
doing,
service.
yes, doing Maya service.
Custom. Did you talk to Shanta Maharaj recently?
No, Maharaj, I didn't talk nearly 1 week.
No. You're not giving any classes these days?
No,
No.
miss class
Okay.
because internet no good.
I know.
Maharaj. Maybe next week will be okay after 10th April.
When did he say he's coming back?
10th of
10th,
April.
10th of April, yeah. So what is tomorrow, Grasaraj? Tomorrow's Easter?
Tomorrow?
Ah,
No. Well, Monday. Yeah, Monday Eastern, I think.
Sunday, no?
Well, Sunday. Yes, yes.
Easter, huh?
And Monday has something else too.
Oh, I don't know.
Monday's probably the bank holiday for Easter, but Sunday is Easter actually.
Okay. So today is Holy Saturday. Huh?
Yes.
Good Saturday? Or what is that? Good Friday and then Holy Saturday.
So
Tomorrow Easter Sunday, Easter
Tomorrow
Monday.
Easter Sunday, yes. And then you have vacation on Monday for Easter?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay.
Bank holiday.
Bank holiday. So everyone celebrates Easter, huh? In London, UK.
Yes, Maharaj, but this time because Corona,
The what?
COVID-19. Yes,
Because Corona is different.
Oh,
yes. Still lockdown. Yeah.
usually now to be politically correct, they can't celebrate Christian holidays. I heard. Huh? If the Christians have a holiday, the Jews have to have a holiday. Muslims have to have a holiday. Hindus have to have one holiday.
They recognize Hanukkah, and I think they recognize some Muslim holidays. Like I've seen it before.
Yes.
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
But I don't really see them honor a Hindu holiday. like
Janmashtami?
no, like banks. I think
Oh, banks, yeah.
banks don't honor a Hindu holiday, but I think they honor Ramadan and Hanukkah.
I see.
This year, the kids will open Easter eggs and find masks inside.
Did you see Kusham this week? Last week?
No, I didn't see her, but she told me I think last Friday or Thursday she was going to the Zen therapy for the
For your dizzy?
dizziness, and then I asked her on Tuesday if she was feeling better. She told me that she was feeling the same, vomiting and dizziness, and so I'm not sure. I didn't talk to her again,
Uh,
but still not feeling well.
she sent out the Mahanet.
Yes, I saw it.
She's very faithful to that service, despite all her difficulties. That's one thing she likes to do, make sure it gets done. She said that's her only service now. What was that?
My mom, I think.
Oh,
Oh, babe.
Meiji, Haribo,
Haribol, Haribol. Jai Krishna,
Namaste,
Hare Krishna, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. I heard you came for some prasad last week, huh?
Yes, thank you. It's good. It's good. I feel because so many are there, 6 people are there. It's good.
Yes. Yeah, we are meeting. We are meeting every Saturday.
Yes, yes. Actually, I was missing, but now I will be regular. Try to be regular.
Uh,
Um, so, Robert, how are you doing? Robert is very regular.
Roberto Rasaraj. His name is Rasaraj. We're waiting for a couple more devotees to come.
I was there last Sunday. Because of rains, they cancelled their program. But I got the lunch packet.
Yes.
I was
we
there, I was sitting.
we moved
But
from that place now. We're
yes,
not at that office anymore. You know that office we had on Nassau Street? We're not there anymore.
yes,
We had to leave that place. And now we have another building
yeah.
down on State Road.
Well,
Huh?
They got big place in YMCA.
Ah, it was a good place, huh? To distribute prasad. Only we didn't have enough people.
Yes, they are all fine. Everyone is okay. So when are you likely to start face to
Well,
face?
we're waiting for the government
No,
to say it's
I've got
okay.
vaccine. We have got vaccine. Those who have got vaccine, they can go out. Both the
It was,
shot, both vaccines,
Got the vaccines,
oh,
they
the
can
vaccine,
go.
yes. You have?
both.
You have the vaccine?
So I can come. Yes.
Oh, you have it. Okay. Very good. Dorothy also?
You are in Princeton now. At present, you are speaking from Princeton. No,
No, now I am at my house
your house. Okay.
in Whiting.
Hmm. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radha Madhava.
Maharaj, what's the Veda Gupta meaning, Maharaj?
What did she say?
Prabhu, Veda Gupta, Prabhu's name.
Yes, Ved Gupta. I was regular earlier.
Oh, Prabhu's name? Veda. His name is
Yeah.
Veda.
Yes, Vedas, Ved Vyas. I'm the writer of Vedas.
Vyasadeva.
Yes, see, same is in me.
Yes, Veda
Same
Vyasa.
same power is with me.
Same.
Same energy will continuing in me.
Hare Krishna.
I'm connected with that energy still. That's why I'm speaking. I'm able to speak because of the energy which I receive. Of Krishna's energies, they always. Meanwhile, can I sing a one line of that song, that bhajan? Can I sing a one line of bhajan?
Oh. Do you know the Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Purana?
Yes,
Huh? Do you know the first line?
yes.
What is it?
This is that same. One song. This was the Radha Govinda
No, no. I mean the first sloka. First
of
sloka of Bhagavatam.
no Likar Kshetre Kurukshetre Bhameta.
Janma Janmadasya Yatanvayad Itartas Sarteshu Abhigyasvarat. You know that?
Yes,
Tene Brahma Ridyadi Kavaye Bhuyanti Yatsuraya. Tejo Vari Vidam Yata Vidimayo Yatatri Sargo Misha. Damna Svena Kata Nirakam Kuhakam Satyam Param Dimahi. Is the opening shloka of the
yes,
Bhagavatam. Huh?
good.
That is an answer. He is answering to the first shloka of the Vedanta. Vedanta says Atato Brahmajigyasa. Atato Brahmajigyasa. Then it says Janmadasya. Janmadasya. To inquire about Brahman means to find out what is the origin of everything. The Janmadasya. From where did everything come? By Vedanta. You want to know Tato Brahma Jigyasa? You want to know about Brahma? Then you must know Janmadasyata. Where does everything come from? Huh? So then Bhagavatam answers that. Janmadasya starts with where Vedanta leaves off. Janmatasya tonvayaditartas shateshu abhigyasvarat. The abhigyasvarat, it locates that origin of everything in the independent conscious being. Abhigyasvarat. Swarat means independent. Abhigya means the knowing. The all-knowing, independent, supreme source of everything. That is Krishna. Huh? In which everything else is illusory. Tene Brahma Ridyadi Kavaye Muyanti Atsuraya. Everything else, the sun, the moon, everything, is all the illusory energy of that Abhigya Swarat. It appears real, but it's only a reflection, like the reflection of the water, reflection on the water, and not real. It looks, you see the tree in the water, but it's not the real tree. Hmm? You are Veda Vyas, then you must know these things. Huh? That is real Veda Vyas. Unless Vena Sadani Rakhakuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhimahi is Gayatri. You know Gayatri? Om Bhur Bhuvasvatat Savito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yonat Prachodayat. Huh? Dhimahi is told in the Bhagavatam also. Excuse me. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhimahi. No. You know, you heard of Rasrashru? You heard Guru Maharaj's explanation of Gayatri?
Yeah, I read the explanation you have in one of the books.
Uh, and Dhimahi, what did he explain about Dhimahi? Can you remember? Om Bhur Bhuvasvatat Savito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yota Prachodayat. Dhimahi, that uh, something,
I don't remember that.
I think he told that was Radharani. Hmm? That the highest Divyo, Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. That's that highest worship. Not remembering exactly, but something like that. How he was able to bring Gayatri to that point. Interprets everything in terms of Radharani, of Radha's energy. Uh, Radhadasya, uh, even Gayatri. It's the song coming, Gayatri is the song that comes from Krishna's flute. Yes? That song that Krishna is producing on his flute. That is called Gayatri. And that is that song singing about? What is that song expressing? Is expressing Radhadasya. Uh, how much Krishna himself is worshipping Radharani as the highest transcendental subject. Mm. Sridhar Maharaj has such high vision. High vision. So I think Veda is anxious to begin kirtan. So you would like to start, Rasarajpu?
I thought I was asking him if he can. Okay, Maharaj. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya
Jai Sri
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Sri
Jaya
Krishna
Sri Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Oh,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Bo,
Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo,
Bo, Hari
Haribo,
Bo, Hari
Haribo.
Bo, Hari
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bo,
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bo,
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bo,
Nitai
Hari
Gaura
Bo,
Haribo,
Hari
Haribo,
Bo, Hari
Haribo,
Bo,
Haribo.
Hari Bo.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev,
Jaya Guru,
Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jai
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Guru Dev, Guru Dev,
Gurudev,
Guru Dev,
Gurudev,
Guru Dev.
Gurudev, Gurudev,
Jai Gaura
Gurudev.
Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol.
Hari Bol, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev
Hari
Ki
Bol.
Jai, Jai Giri Govardhana Ki Jai,
Jai,
O Premanandi,
Ki Jai,
Jai Navadeva Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai,
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai all glorious the assembled devotees,
Jai,
Jai all glory to all the worldwide devotees,
Ki Jai,
Jai.
evil.
Jai. Hai. Sri
Hare Krishna,
Bhakti Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Trace.
Hare Krishna, how are you?
Very good, okay, good. Thank you.
Good.
So we
Hello.
turn to page 38.
Hare
Page
Krishna.
38. Asraj, would you like to lead?
Yes, Maharaj. Page 38, Vandana.
Yes.
Vandeham
Shri Guru
Sriyam
Shri
Sriyuta
Yuta Parakamalam
Parakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam
Vaishnavamsha
Cha Sri Rupam
Sagratam
Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam
Sadvaitam
Satvaitam
Savadutam
Savadutam Pariyana
Adisana Sahitam
Sahitam Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Deva
Devam Sri
Sri
Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padam Sahagana
Sadhamalita
Lalita Sri
Sri
Visakam Vitam
Visakamsha
Cha Omangyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana
Salakaya
Salakaya Chakshuro
Akshur
Militam Yena Tasmai
Tasmai
Shri
Sri
Gurave Namaha Puja Sri Guru Varga Vandita Mahavalambita Jasada Parva Para
Purva Paraya Parampara
Parampara Pracharita Praya
Charita
Pramurta
Pamurta
Krite Bhaktir Nirmala Niharasya
Akritarasya
Nivritam Sandasakam Sadaram Vande Sri
Vande Sri
Gurudevam
Guru
Anatasira Acharya
Acharya
Varyaniyam Guru Bhavista Supurakam Guru Gunaira Shisha Shambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Sri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Vidam Ujjalam Varatanum
Varam
Bhaktambitam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Gurum Sadivya Bhagavat
Bhagavad
Premahi Bija
Pranam
Pradam Devan Divyatanum Suchanda Vadanam
Avartasena Sutam
Balakatyaksitam Sandranandam
Sandanam Param
Dantareka
Sarita Paranam
Sutvaranam Vairagya
Vairagya
Vidya
Vidya
Buddhim Sri
Sri
Siddhanta Nidhim
Siddhanta
Subhakti
Bhakti Lasita
Lasitam Saraswatanam
Saraswatam Param
Param Vandetam
Vandeyam
Sumadhamadeka
Sudhamata Saram
Saranam Yasiswaram
Sriram
Sriharam Sri Siddhanta
Sridhanta
Saraswati
Saraswati
Ki Vidito Gaudiya
Chaudhya
Guruvam
Gorvandaye
Bhade Bhato
Pato
Vandiva
Diva
Pravate Gagane Jogora
Yoga Sankirtanaya
Sankirtanai Majavada Timingilodara Gatangudritya Jivanimam Krishna Prema
Krishna Prema
Sudadhigahana
Sudapena
Sukam
Sukam
Radhat
Bharat
Prabhum Tam
Prabhu
Bhaje Namo
Oh,
Gaura
Kishoraya
Kisaraya Bhaktavadutta
Atavadutta Murtaye
Murtaye Gaurangiri Padma
Padma
Bringaja
Radha
Madhava
Baba Sevane
Sevane
Vande
Vande Bhakti
Bhakti
Vinodam
Vinodam Shri
Sri Gaura
Gaura
Shakti
Shakti
Swarupakam
Swarupakam
Bhakti
Bhakti
Sastragya
Shastrakya
Sandayam Ragarasa
Ragarasa
Sadanidhim Gaura Vrajasti Sesai Vaisnavarvandya Vigraham Jagannatha
Jagannatha
Prabhum
Prabhum
Vande
Bande
Primadindridha Vaisnavam
Vaisnavam
Vanchakalpataruvyacha Kripa Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatattvamakam
Panchatattvamakam
Krishnam
Krishnam
Bhaktarupa
Bhaktarupa Sarupakam
Sarupakam Bhaktavataram
Bhaktavataram
Bhaktakyam Namami
Namami
Bhakta
Bhakta Shaktikam
Shaktikam Namo
Om
Mahavaranyaya
Mahavaraya
Krishna
Krishna
Prema
Prema Pradayate
Pradayate Krishnaya
Krishnaya
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya Namni
Name
Gaurati Se
Se
Namaha Jaya
Sayaksham
Sham Surato
Purato
Pango Mama Manda
Mamma
Bhatirgati Masarvaswa Padam Bhujau
Raga
Rathamadana Mohanau
Divya
Divya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara
Nagarasinasanastau
Sinhasanastau Sri Gandharva Siva Govinda
Srigandharva
Devau
Resali
Restalivi Sevyamano Smarami Srimang
Srimavasarasarampi
Rasarasarampi Vansivata
Srivata Tatasita
Tatasita Karsavenu
Karsanvinu
Sunair
Saragopi
Gopir Gopinata
Gopinata
Srijestunaha
Jetuna
Vrindayai
Right,
Tulasi Devyai
Osideva
Priyayai
Priyaya Hitavashacha
Ketavasyacha Krishna
Krishna
Bhakti
Bhakti Praditi
Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo
Namo
Namaha
Namaha
Atvanatra Mantra
Atanatra Guru
Gurum Gurum
Guru
Bhagavatar
Sada
Tadayam Vyasam
Yasan
Jagat
Jagat
Gurum
Guru
Natva Tato
Tato
Jajamudiraje Jaya
Jaya
Saparipara Sasi
Satyas
Guru
Vishnu
Gauranga Gandharva
Garvago
Govinda Sundar Parmanam Jajastu Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda Sri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhar
Gadadhar Srivasadi
Vasari Gaura
Gaur
Bharta Vrinda
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Rama Hare Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada Srila Guru Maharaj Srila Gurudev Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai Jai Giri Govardhan
Jai
Ki Jai
Ki Jai
Jai Mahaprabhu Ki Jai
Jai
Jai Samarina Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai
Jai
Jai Go Premanandi
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari 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 Om
Jai Sripad Bhakti Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai
Kanupriya Haribol Bhagavat
Dandavat Pranam
Jai
Maharaj.
Kanupriya
Sorry I'm joining
Dandavat
late. Sorry.
Okay. I know you were busy this morning.
Had a very busy day.
You're cooking class.
Yes.
What did you cook up today?
We had a talk, another Ayurvedic talk, Maharaj.
I see.
It was very went on for an extra hour and a half. So 2.5 hours. We were
You got to be careful of those guys.
yeah. How are you, Maharaj?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
Yes, very well.
Okay. All right, so now, let's see.
Good feedback.
Some squeaking is there. Where is that coming from? What did he?
Yes,
Can,
Maharaj.
can you chant for us? Is it anyone around?
Which one, Maharaj?
Would you like to chant Yasamathinandan?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Page number 16. Yasomati Nandana Rojavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasamathinandana Rajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjanakana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyada Manavidana
Gopi
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamona Vidana
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa
Amala Harinam Ami Avilasa
Vipina Purandara Navinagaravara Vamshivadana Suvasa
Vipana
Vipina Purandara Navinana Garavara Vansivadana
Rajajana Palana Asurakulana Sana Nandagodana Rakuyala
Raja
Vraja Jana Surakula Nasana Nanda Gotana Rakoya
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Govinda Madhava Navaniyata Skara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kupamaya
Yamuna
Yamuna
Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya
Viradavallabha Rundavana Natavara Bhakti Vinoda Hasaya Yasomati Nandana Rajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Rajavara Nagara Gokula
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyada Manavidana
Gopipa Adana Manohara Kaliya Yamuna Vidana
भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
Then, Teresa,
Yes,
would you like to read the English?
I always would like to read the English. Thank you.
Unless you know how to sing the song.
I'm trying. I'm getting better. Sri Krishna, who is known as Tan, is Yoda's darling son.
Yashoda's.
Radha's paramour, Gokula's delight, is the gopis' life and wealth. The enchanter of Cupid and the conqueror of Kaliya. His names and nectarine pastimes are all transcendental. He is the king of Raja's forest and the best of young paramours. He beautifully plays the flute. He is the guardian of Raja's residence, the destroyer of the demons, the keeper of Nanda's cows. He is known as Govinda, he who nourishes the cows, senses, Vedas, and world, and Madhava, Sri Radha's conceit. He is Nanda's beautiful cowherd boy and a butter thief. He is a spy on the Yamuna's banks and the stealer of the gopis' garments. He is the relisher of the Rasa Leela and the embodiment of mercy. He is Sri Radha's beloved, Vrindavan's great dancer, and Bhakti Vinod's shelter. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
And let's see. Krishna Keshava, what would you like to chat? Page 65. Page 65. Nitai.
Nitai pada kamala, koti chandra sushitala, yechayaya jagata judaya.
Nitai
Pada
Kamala,
Kamala
Koti
Koti
Chandra
Chandra
Krisala,
Sushitala
Jaya
Nitayaya Jagata Judaya
Hina nitai vine bai, Radha Krishna poite nai, Dridhakari dharanitayara paya.
Nitai
Nitai
Vineva, Radha
Vinebai
Krishna
Radha Krishna
Paitena,
Paitena
Dridhakari
Dridha Kori Dharanitai Paya
Se sambandha nahi yara, vritta janma gila tara. Se pashu bada durachara.
Se
Se
sambandha nahi
sambandha nahi
jara.
jara, vrita jama gila tara. Se
Se paso
paso bada durachara.
Nitai na balila muke, majila samsara suke. Vidya kule kikari betara.
Nitai
Nitai
na
na balila
balila muke.
muke, majila
Majila
samsara
samsara
suke.
suke. Vidya kule
Vidya kule kikari betara.
Ahankare mata haina, nitai pada pasariya. Asatyere satyakari mani.
Ahankare mata hoina, nitai pada pasariya. Asatyere satyakori mani.
Nitayer karuna habe, vraje radha krishna pabe. Dara nitayer charandu kani.
Nitayer karuna have, vraje radha krishna bhave. Dharanitaye charandukani.
Nitayer charana satya, tanhara sevaka nitya. Nitai pada sadakara asa.
Nitya charana
Nitaye charana
satya.
satya, Sahara
Sahara
sevaka
Sevakanitya.
nitya.
Nitai
Nitai
Pada
pada sadakara asa.
Asa.
Narotama Badaduki, Nitai More Karashuki, Rakaranga Charanera Pasa.
Narottama Badaduki, Nitai More Karasuki. Rakaranga Charanira Pasa.
Dayal Nitai, Dayal Nitai, Dayal Nitai, Jaya Dayal Nitai.
Jaya Dayal Nitai, Jayal Nitai, Dayal Nitai, Jaya Dayal Nitai.
Jai Gurudev, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Evil. Then, uh, let's see, Kanupriya, did he?
Dandavats Maharaj.
You have a bhajan that's in your heart you want to sing right now?
Maybe page 45?
Which one?
Page 45?
Okay.
Samsaradava Analita Loka Taranna Karunya Krana Kranatvam
Samsaradhava Nalita Loka Pranayakaya Nagunaganatam
Rapatya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam
Vande Guru
Sri Charanarvindam.
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Paritramadhyam Manushorashena
Mahaprabhu
Mahaprabhu Kirtana
Kirtananitya
Nitya Gita
Vaditya Mahajan
Paritramadhyam
Manasorasena
Romanchakam Pasrutarangabhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Romanchakam Pasrutarangabhajo Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam.
Shri Vigrahadhadana Nityanana Shangaratan Mandira Majanado
Sri
Vigrahara Nitya Nana Sringarata Mandira Majanado
Yuktasya Bhaktamscha Niyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Yuktasya Bhaktam Saninjuyatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam.
Chaturvitha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Svadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangyan
Chaturvidha Sri Bhagavat Prasado Swadana Tritam Hari Bhakta Sangam.
Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajatha Sathaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajato Sativa Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam.
Shiratika Bhavayo Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupanam Nam
Radhika Madhava Jora Para Madhurya Lila Guna Rupanam
Pratikshana Svadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Pratikshana Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam.
Nikunjayo no Radhikela Srityai Yaya Lape Yuktira Prakshaniya
Nikunja Juno Ratikeli Jai Yaya Livir Yukti Rapekshaniya
Tratratidakshadati Valapasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Tatratidasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam
Sakshatare Krina Samashta Sastre Yuktastata Bhavyatare Kasaptir
Sakshadari Trena
Saksagari Tvena Samasta Chasrai Uktastata Bhavyata Eva Sadvi
Kintu Prabhuya Priyayeva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravrindam
Into Prabhu
Kintu Prabhurya Priyayeva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam
Yasha Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado Yasha Prasadan Nagati Kotopi
Yasa
Yasya Prasadam Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Nagati Kutopi
Tayam Tuvam Stasya Yasya Trisangyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravrindam
Jayam Sutam
Yadyantu Vantasya Yasasandhyam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam
Srimad Guru Rasti Kamitaruchai Brahme Mahurti Patati Payadnat
Srimad
Srimad Guru Rasa Kamitaruchay Brahme Muhurte Patati Prajatna
Yashena Vrindavananata Sakshat Vadvaivalavya Janushunotaiva
Yastena
Yastena Vrindavananata Saksha Sevaivala Vyajananta Eva
Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam
Vande
Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam
Vande
Vande
Guru
Guru
Sri
Sri Charanarabindam
Charanarvinda.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Guru
Jaya
Deva
Guru Deva Jaya Guru
Deva
Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jai Guru Deva Jai.
Thank you. And Rasarasu,
Yes, Maharaj.
would you like to chant one bhajan?
In page 58. Vaishnava. Ohe Vaishnava Takura Dojaro Sagara Edase Karuna Kori
Hey Vaishnava Thakura Jaya Rasa Kara Tirase Karuna Kori.
Diya Pada Chaya Sodhaye Amaya Tomara Charana Dhari
Niya pada chaya Sorohe amaya Tomara charanaro.
Jaya Vegadami, Jaya Dosa Sodhi, Jaya Guna Dehodase.
Jaya Vigadami Jaya dosha shodhi Jaya guna dehadase.
Jaya satsanga, Dehae amare, Bosechi sangera ase.
Jaya satsanga Dehe amare Isichi sangerawa.
Ekaki amara, Nahi paya bolo, Harinama sankirtane.
Ekaki amara Nai Nai Harinama Sankirtane.
Tumi kripa kori, Radha bindu diya, Deha Krishna namadhane.
Tumi kripa kori Shadha Bindudiya Dehan Krishna Namadani.
Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro, Tomara sakatiyache.
Krishna se tomar Krishna dite par Ramara Shakatiyati.
Amito Kanga, Krishna Krishna boli, Daitava pache pache.
Amita Ganga Krishna Krishna Bali Jaita Papache Papache.
Ohe Vaishnavata Kura, Noyaro Sagara, Idase Karuna Kori.
Vaishnava
Jaya Saga
Karuna Kori.
Diya Pada Chaya, Sodhaya Maya, Tumara Charana Dhari.
Diya Pada Chaya
Jaya Vaishnavata Kur, Vaishnavata Kur, Vaishnavata Kur, Jaya Vaishnavata Kur.
Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava
Jaya Vaishnava
Thakur.
Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai.
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 The last lines there it says Daitava Patre Patre Krishna Nana Parve Hasi Daitava Patre Patre Tumi Dile Krishna Dite Para Krishna Tomar Deyardan Tumi Dile O Dite Para Krishna Devar Shakti Dhara Tumi Dileo Dite Para and Vaishnava Thakur Jaya Vaishnava Thakur Vaishnava Thakur Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Vaishnava
Jaya
Thakur,
Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Okay. Where's
I don't know.
where's that coming from?
I don't know how it's supposed to.
All right. So what time now? 2:30. So do we have time to read Prapanna Jivanamrita? Do we read that one? Text 24 on page 71.
24 or 25?
Huh? I'm
Is
reading,
it
looking at
25 or
24.
24?
Who you don't remember? Anyone remember?
I think that was 25.
Us?
25?
I think it,
24
24.
24.
24? Okay.
Okay, I'm going once, going twice.
So,
Okay.
Do you want me to
Go
read,
on.
Maharaj?
Okay, you can read.
Gaura Bhakti Rasagyasya Anjatra Chit Rase Api Pratikul Janu Bhuti. Paso me varam astu Gaura Dahana Jwala Vali Panjare. Sri Chaitanya Padaravinda Bimukair Makuchat Kutrachit Sangamaha. Vaikuntadi Padan Swayam Chamilitam Nome Mano Lipsate. Padam Boya Rajas Chata Jadi Manag Gaurasya Norasyate. Sri Prabodhananda Padanam. The pure devotee who knows the paramount, immaculate nectar of devotion for Sri Chaitanya Deva distrusts all else, even to the point of considering the culture or other spiritual relationships to be opposition. Let me remain within a cage of blazing fire, but never in the association of persons averse to the holy lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If I never get even the slightest taste of the nectar of a tiny particle of the pollen of the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga, my heart has no aspiration for a position in the great spiritual planets headed by Vaikunta, even it is mine for the taking. Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati.
You did read this one last week.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do remember. That's why I say it's 25.
Sorry.
What is your commentary, Prabhu?
Mine. I
Yes.
don't. My commentary.
Yeah. What is your understanding of this? It's quite amazing, actually.
Well, actually, the explanation from Sri Guru Maharaj, the first part, practically explain everything. They say that the pure devotee who have some devotion for Sri Chaitanya Dev, everything else any other relationship is like opposition. It's like a rejection or anything else. So it's completely focused in the devotion for Sri Chaitanya there.
Namo Mahabharanaya. I pray. Namo Mahabharanaya. Krishna Prema Parayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. Namne Goro Tuitse Nama. You know the meaning? Namo Mahabharanaya, the most munificent, not magnificent, munificent. Uh, Beyond the magnificent is the munificent. Someone may be magnificent like Lord Narayan, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is munificent. Munificent means he's giving freely to everyone. Munificent. They're giving benefit to everyone freely. Like a billionaire just distributing millions of dollars to everyone. Munificent. But why is he? What is he giving? Namo Mahabharanaya. Krishna Prema
Krishna Prema.
Pradaya. They're distributing not only money, the millions of dollars. He is distributing Krishna Prema, love of God, the highest possible thing, attainable anywhere, in any universe, spiritual and material, anywhere. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishna, what is that? Krishnaya, Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Garoti Deva. I think I told us that what is told in the scripture that Krishna tried to appear before the gopis as Narayan and Vaikuntha, and they wouldn't let him. He kept trying to put out the other two arms, but they couldn't. They wouldn't come out. They wouldn't. They didn't want to see his Narayan form. That was an opposition to him. They considered that an oppositional form. Krishna's the magnificent feature of Krishna. They didn't want to see that. That would destroy their sex, their rasa, their feeling of love. Be counter to that. They didn't love Krishna because he was God. They loved him because he was very sweet. The sweetest and the most beautiful and charming personality. They loved him. Mother Yasoda, she didn't want to see the universe inside her little boy's mouth. That's not my son. She couldn't bear to think of that. So how much the devotees wanted to know Krishna, the sweet, ordinary little boy, was theirs to take care of, was depending on them, who must be chastised sometimes when he's naughty. That kind of Krishna, that kind of relationship they have. They say that if you follow the Odyssey, then you could go to Vaikuntha. They don't even want that. Vaishnavas are very careful to follow Ekadasi. But that really will only get you to Vaikuntha. When the devotees would go out for Sankirtan under Bhakti Siddhanta, and they had nothing, nowhere to cook their meals. They had to eat at the restaurants. Prabhupada, we only have rice and vegetable and onion and garlic. Eat it, he thought. You could eat it. So you could do your service. Don't worry about those things. Your attention should be focused on service to Guru and Gauranga. It is your highest position. You come to that platform, all these other things are minuscule. Huh? They're helpful, but that's not the highest thing to consider. I think the devotees asked him, I don't remember if it was in this circumstance, but the devotees asked Bhaktisiddhanta one time, they asked him, are you sure? I think it was about eating meat in the Dham when so many people came from different walks of life. He said, give them meat. And the devotees asked him, are you sure, Maharaj? Are you sure, Prabhupada, we should do this? He says, I'm not just thinking of this. For millions of lifetimes, I've thought about these things already. Gaur Haribol, as Sri Maharaja said. Gaur Haribol, huh? This high taste for Gauranga. How high that taste must be. They don't want anything else. Nothing else can satisfy them. Murari Gupta, he wanted to be a Ram Bhakta. That's also very high, Ram Bhakta. But when Mahaprabhu came, he was disappointed. Oh, you have more favorable faith in Ram than in myself. At the same time, he was happy that it's nice that you have so much confidence in him. But you don't realize I'm giving something higher than him. Huh? So much higher. Radha Krishna Prem. So Ramchandra, he has his own plane in the spiritual world above Vaikuntha. Where is this place located in the spiritual world? What is it called? Huh? What is it? You know? Outside of Vrindavan, or from Vrindavan, from Goloka. Also there, he has a place, Ramachandra. Outside of Vrindavan, there's Dwarka, where Krishna and his queens live. A different mood than Vrindavan. But even outside of Dwarka, there's another plane. Ayodhya, plain of Ayodhya. And along with Vrindavan, there's also another place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has his pastimes. It's called Odarja, Navadvip. Odarja, whereas its predominant is called Madhurya. The Odarja play, and the Navadvip, the Odarja, it means it is Madhurya with the distribution quality. And Madhurya, but it also has distribution as its function. Uh, Guru Maharaj gave a nice example of the bees. They're collecting the nectar, and they're so excited, and nectar makes them so excited. You know how they collect nectar? They put it in their legs. They have little hairs in their legs. And nectar, they put it there. They carry it back to the honeycomb, the nest. But they get so excited when they're collecting this nectar that they start jiggling around like dancing. And when they're jiggling around and dancing, that nectar drops from their
Yes, yeah.
legs, and it feeds anybody who comes down there, who's down there to catch the drops. They can also get the nectar. So Madhurya is like the nectars, uh, uh, relishing the nectar. And Audarja means you're relishing the nectar, but also distributing it, unconsciously or unconsciously. Uh, so that's the devotees of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu himself and his devotees also uh, follow that in the footsteps. That's Audarja platform. Madhurya and Audarja. Oh, you've heard of that before, Rasarashro?
Yeah, that verse is in the same Prapanna
Same book?
Jivanamrita
Oh, yes.
in the page 15 in Roman numbers. The verse is there.
Govinda Maharaj once said that's his favorite verse in the whole book.
Yeah.
What does it say?
The bees intoxicated in the festival of drinking the honey of the Lord's lotus feet, busily humming the glories of the Lord. Drops of honey from the mouth fall and scatter all around. For my divine prospect, I carefully collected some of these drops herein, and thus do I worship the dust of the holy lotus feet of those saints again and again.
Which did you say was that text 15?
Isn't the page 15 in Roman numbers? It's at the beginning, the introduction. Actually, the preface. The preface has the page 15 in Roman numbers, and they have the verse there.
Oh, the Roman numbers. I see.
Yeah, Roman numbers. 15 in Roman.
The Mahaprabhu came to relish the flavor of Radha's love for him. He came for that purpose, to relish. But what he accomplished in the same process, without as a secondary reason for coming, was to distribute that. He came to relish that taste. But in the same process, he was distributing it, just like overflowing. Huh? The nectar is so perfect, but when you have so much that it's overflowing, then it gets distributed as well. So it's the same nectar, but in an overflowing state, so that everyone can participate in that. That was Mahaprabhu's purpose for incarnating. One of his purposes was that, to relish the nectar. And a secondary purpose was to distribute that. Associated purpose, we could say. By association of the first purpose, the second purpose was manifest. Okay. Then, um, Kanapriya, would you like to read?
Yes,
20,
Maharaj. 25.
25.
Aikantika Bhaktasya Kshay Avishishta Dosha Darshara Graho Vrajan Iyaha Drishtaya Svabhava Janitaye Vabushascha Doshai Na Prakritatvam Iha Bhakta Janasya Pashet Gangam Pashamna Kalu Padvuta Vena Pankir Brahma Dravatapam Apagachati Niratarmaha Sri Rupa Padmanam, Sri Rupa Goswami. The tendency to find the dying remnants of personal defects in an exclusive devotee must be abandoned. And
All right. Svabhava Janita Aravapudo Shikshane Anadara Nahikar Shurabhakta Jane Pankari Jaliya Doshe Kabuganga Trale Shimayatva Lopa Nahe Sarva Shastri Bale Aprakrita Bhakta Jana Papa Nahi Kare Avashista Papa Jayaya Kicho Dinapare. Go ahead, read.
for defects in his nature or defects in his body, one should never disrespect Lord Krishna's pure devotee. If mud, foam, and bubbles appear in Ganges water, it never loses divinity. So says the scripture. The devotee of divinity, he does never sin, and if a remnant does remain, soon that too is gone.
This is the chapter of rejection of the unfavorable. One of the limbs of surrender is to reject that was unfavorable to devotional sentiment, devotional mood. We should reject certain things. And one of these important things, right, is to don't find faults in those who are on the path of Bhakti Yoga. Very important one. Prabhupada, I remember, used to say, if someone is in the shower and you don't criticize why you are so dirty, wait a minute, I'm taking a shower, soon I'll remove that. No use to criticize that person. taking a shower while you are so dirty. That's why I'm taking a shower. What do you think? So, in the path of bhakti is a path of purification. Also, that is occurring. Sadhana bhakti. Remove the undevotional parts of our existence. Uh, we want to encourage those who are taking up that path, not that we criticize. So, always see the positive. Always see the positive. That will be very good for us and for those whom we are directing our uh, attention to. What is that verse in the Bhagavad Gita? Um, Patate Vamananyabhak. How does that start? I don't remember. Krishna Kesha was looking it up. Ananyabhak. Ananyabhak means a pure devotee. One who can see the purity of a devotee, even if there is some mistake. He himself is considered pure, who can see like that. Doesn't see the mistake in others. Even there may be some, but he doesn't see that. Doesn't criticize. Vajate Mamananyabhak.
Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyo stina priya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mai teteshu chapya.
No.
It's the next one. Abhichet
Siddharacharam Bhajate Mamananyabhak. What's the next line? Sadur Eva Samantavya.
Samyag vyavistito hisa.
All right. Anyhow.
Samyag vyavasito hisa.
Not exactly, but anyhow, that's also one verse. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find that sloka. And Bhakti Vinod has given his own unique interpretation of that sloka. That the person who sees that way, he is considered a pure devotee. As pure. Not only that you see the other one as pure, despite the mistakes, but the one who is seeing that, that despite their mistakes, still they are pure. He is the actual Ananyabhak. It takes that kind of purity of heart to be able to see that others are pure despite their defects. Something like that. Not always finding some fault. But despite any fault, finding purity. So that's favorable. That is a favorable attitude that one can have toward in developing their own devotional mood. But if, on the other hand, we keep festering the difficulty, the defect, we keep noticing that, that will also decrease our transcendental vision, our attempt to rise to the transcendental plane of seeing things in Krishna conscious platform. Because in Krishna consciousness, there's no defect. Even there a defect, it becomes an impetus, so-called defect, becomes an impetus for more service. And this, in the material plane, it becomes a matter of envy. It becomes a cause of enviousness. To put another down and put ourselves up. But uh, in the transcendental plane, those defects become like some incentive for going higher. Any else can find in this? What do you say? Raj, do you have something
No,
to
I
add?
was remember that
Yeah.
Srila Guru Maharaj used to say that we are not drain inspectors. So whatever come out in the drain, we should not take a look at that. We are not that kind of person. We have to check the good qualities in everybody and don't see any possible defects, because that everything will be come back to me. That's what he say. Everything I see bad in other person will come back to me.
Uh, I heard once that someone came to Navadvip and Maharaj, the first time, and Maharaj Sridhara asked, what is your vision now of Navadvip? You have come here, this is your first time. What do you think? And that person said, I have seen so many dogs here passing stool on the street. It's a very, not very nice, you know. And Sridhara told you, I've come here to see stool. You've come here to see dog stool. Hare Krishna. Anyhow, so the veil over the Dham is there also, so that those who are not there for the proper purpose will be distracted from the real thing. They won't be able to see the
I
real
think
thing.
it's sometimes also Krishna tests the persons and see how what is the perception of devotees and the dham and the prasad and all that. So it's just like kind of test. I see in that way. I mean, sometimes I see like it's like a test. I remember the very first time I went to a temple. The very first time, I remember I put my shoes in some locker they have there. I went to the program. When I came out, my shoes disappeared. I had no shoes.
Where was this?
So that was the very first time I went to visit the temple.
Where?
I was a teenager at that time in Venezuela.
Oh.
And that day, after I went inside the program, I went out to go home. I had no shoes. My shoes disappeared. And then the body gave me some old shoe they have. I said, well, you can take this. But then after years passed, I remember that I say probably Krishna was testing me and see if I would not come back anymore or something. So sometimes they test you, in some ways. And
There's a place of shoe thieves.
yeah.
In India also, they have the shoe thieves. Sometimes they have to put one devotee to watch for them. But I remember also when Govinda Maharaj was first coming to the mutt, he told about that they gave him some dal to eat, and all the little bugs, the fruit flies and things like that, they ended up in the dal. so, so he's looking at the dal and he sees all these little dead bodies there of the fruit flies. And then he thought, this is what Guru Dev has given me for eating, then I must eat it. Stirring it with his hands, and a chapati or whatever. And then so he just started eating it. And then Guru Maharaj was looking down from the balcony of his veranda, and he saw, and he asked, and when Govinda Maharaj came up to see him, then he asked him, what are you doing there? I saw you mixing around in your soup and your dal, mixing around and looking, and then finally what was going on. So he told him, he said, I thought like that this all these bugs have come in there, but you have given this for me to eat, so I must eat it. And she was very happy, very pleased. I transcended all these external things and thought of it as the grace of Guru, and I have even this much. I wasn't demanding any fancy things. Very nice mood. Appreciated his renunciation, rejection of unfavorable thoughts, even in the presence of such unpleasant things. Anything else experienced that you've had? Kanapriya?
I don't think so. Monkeys, well, yeah, many things taken. In India, I think many things happen, especially just to test you. Had one monkey steal my flip-flops. he was, yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was teasing me as well. He had them. I thought it was a time that, it was in the afternoon in Govardhan, and I thought, oh, the monkeys, it's the afternoon, everyone's sleeping and it's very sleepy and no monkeys to be seen. I quickly was going into the kitchen, and then he came in behind me. He must have, I don't know, he came in behind me. I saw him, and then I was like, oh no, I have to get him out, and so I ran out and he came out, but then he took my flip-flops. He sat on them. And then took them and ran off. But
yes, it's funny as we accept those things in our life as they happened when we are new. It's interesting that as we get a little more experienced, as we get older, more mature in spiritual life, those things happen less and less automatically. We pass the test and we don't have to go through that again and again.
it's almost like it's, testing your attachment to things.
Yes. As if you can pass the examination, then you go to the next level. But more advanced problems come also.
Yeah.
As we
Well, you realize how subtle things, even attachments, how subtle things. You think you're okay, and
health and respect from others, these things may also come to test you.
Yeah.
And that's not so. I think in the Bible also, I heard that they were testing Job. Job in the Bible. he had to undergo many tests, different tests. And the tests would become more and more personal as they would go along. They would test something external, then something more personal, and like that. And they had to pass many tests until you came to that ultimate test. Now you have to give your son, right?
Wow. Yes.
Uh,
Hmm.
and but he also passed that test. Uh, some more external things than more internal things.
Hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you don't have these, like Raj probably was saying. Sometimes things happen, but you don't have the realization till like years later. Maybe sometimes even like, oh, now I understand why, what meaning that was, or why that happened. It's hard to sometimes understand immediately.
Okay, so accepted rejected the unfavorable in spiritual life. And let's see, 26. Text 26. Pardoshanushīlanam varjaniyam. Parsubhava karmani yak prasamsati nindati. Sa ashu brashyate svartad asatya vidiveshataha. From the Sri Bhagavat. Bhagavatam. Oh, Sri Bhagavat, Krishna. So the practice of finding fault in others must be abandoned. And to pointlessly judge others is a defect, and therefore such a practice must be abandoned. O Uddhava, you should neither praise nor abuse the nature and actions of others, because you will become preoccupied with falsehood, and your best self-interest will be lost. This is from Krishna himself.
They say also you should neither praise. So
Hmm.
even praise others, no.
I was also thinking, or wondering about that.
I believe that probably say praise is in the term not a devotee, but maybe in the material person.
Huh?
You should not praise that person for whatever he's doing. I should be like that, right?
There's a poem. What is that? I can't remember now the author.
Joyce Kilmer.
Uh, Said if you could meet with triumph and disaster
Yeah.
and treat these two impostors just the same. What is that? The poem If. Who is the writer of that?
Was it
Kip,
Rod Kipling?
Kipling, yes.
Kipling.
Kipling, yes. Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling.
If you could meet with triumph and disaster and treat these two imposters just the same.
Hmm.
They're both imposters. Praise and criticism. Imposters. Why are they imposters? They're posing as something, but that's not uh, real. Not the real thing. We must postures because it doesn't here. He says because your best self-interest will be lost by focusing on those things. Your own self-interest, and not promoted or inhibited by those things. What others think is not what you think. You have to cultivate your own proper thinking. We don't know why others may think what they think. That's not our business. That's their business. Our business is to keep our own thoughts in the right place, right direction. Mhm. And proper focus. Uh, we have to achieve a certain goal we're looking for. Krishna consciousness. If we keep trying to worry about what others are at, and then we will lose that valuable time to improve our position, our own position. They are also trying to improve their position. And by misdirecting their real concern outside themselves to others, they are losing time. But just because they're losing time does not mean you should also lose time by trying to counter those things. You have enough to do. We have enough to do to try to understand ourselves what is the proper thing. At the same time, we don't neglect the criticism that we may receive, but we take it in the proper sense of what it is that I am trying to accomplish and my own goals. I like that poem, huh? If if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. Oh, anything else? Asaraj, will you can tell us?
It's something like a dream. We have sometimes we have nice dreams and sometimes we have nightmares. And we prefer the nice dream but not the other one. But at the end, all of them are dreams. So it's almost the same thing. It's a praising or abusing the action of others. It's like a dream. It's
Oh,
related to the illusion, right?
okay.
It's part of the illusion.
Oh. What about Therese? What do you have any experience about these things?
I had to step away, so I'm not clear on what we're talking about. I'm trying to figure it out.
First, we want to say we should not find defects in others.
That I do. I was there for that. Yes.
One hand. The other is if some people find defects in us, or even glorify us, criticize or glorify. What is that? What is that? How do we deal with that? How do we deal with it in such a way that our devotional mood, love of God, will increase and not be disrupted or diverted? And what experiences we may have that show us how that works in our own lives. Okay, if I didn't want to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to think. So I think that we all need to have a mutual respect for each other, regardless of what our beliefs are. As long as we are good people that have good intentions. I mean, I don't feel people are right and wrong for what they believe in, as long as I always say treat people with respect and dignity and goodness. I don't know how else to put it. You know, when people are disrespectful and mean and put people down, I mean that's on them. You know, it's I don't think it's right. Uh, what good does it do? Does it make you feel better about yourself? I mean, then that's, I think, a very negative way to live. But yeah, I try not to be judgmental. I definitely try not to find flaws in people, because everyone's perfect in their own way.
So here Krishna is speaking. He's giving his advice to
Mhm.
Uddhava. He's saying, "Oh Uddhava, you should neither praise nor abuse the nature and actions of others, because you will become preoccupied with falsehood,
Mm.
and your best self-interest will be lost." Why does he say falsehood? Because you're getting, it's all false, in other words. But why is it false? He's not saying don't do that just because I'm telling you.
Mhm.
He's saying don't do that because it's all that is false. Same thing with Kipling. Huh? He said triumph and disaster are all uh, imposters. Why? What is the impostor? What is the falsehood that Krishna is saying here? What is that? Huh? They're in the mundane sense of life. They're in a mundane sense. They're criticizing and praising. They know nothing about Krishna. Huh? Whatever the reasons, it's something mundane that they're talking about. So that's not your life. That is not the real life. That is a false life. Our real life is in relation to Krishna. So only that which has to do with our relations to Krishna, what is encouraging and furthering that relationship, that is what we want to focus on. That is the real life that we are meant to live. Uh, who don't know that? They are living so many things in this world, so many relationships, so many motives, so many this, so many that. But they have no real sense of their constitutional nature. By constitution, we are created to serve as servants of God. Uh, and the world, material world, is created to serve those who have forgotten that. But those who think this, the material world is their natural, constitutional uh, nature, they are living in falsehood. They're living a false life. Because it's false, because it doesn't recognize their true, originally created nature for serving, satisfying the Lord. That's the point that Krishna is making.
But I have a
That's,
question.
yeah.
So there's Krishna consciousness. There were believers in Krishna consciousness, and there were believers in other religions, and they believe in God the way they believe in God. Why should we, if they don't believe in God the way we believe in God, aren't we putting them down for not believing in God the way we do? Or you know what I'm
Not,
saying?
not necessarily. Religion means to serve God, to remember God and serve Him. I remember in the Christian Catechism, uh, says something like, uh, what is that? We are meant to love and serve God in this world and be happy with Him in the next. I don't remember the exact words. Something like that in the Catechism. Huh? We are here to love and serve God in this world and be happy with Him in the next. That we accept. All religion teach that, I think. Huh? No religion that I know of, maybe some so-called religion, they will teach you have to be happy in this world. That's what is that? Eat, drink, and be merry, and tomorrow you die.
Mhm.
Huh? That kind of not a good religion. Religion teaches you are meant to love and serve God and be happy with Him in heaven, something like that. Not this world. None of them praise this world. They all teach leave this world behind and go to that spiritual world. Absorb yourself with that. We don't say that exactly. We say that the materiality of our life must be abandoned, no doubt. But that doesn't mean the world is bad. It means how we utilize it, what our consciousness is. That's the thing that has to change. And having a worldly consciousness is not our best interest. That doesn't serve our real purpose for what we were created as servants of Krishna. We are meant to give pleasure to God, not that He is to give pleasure to us. Something like that. And each religion will teach according to its understanding of that principle.
Mhm.
So we don't say they're all bad. Uh, they're all trying in some way to treat to, but not all are at the same level.
I guess, I mean, and maybe this is judgmental of me, but those religions that encourage people to hurt others in the name of their God, I that's to me is wrong.
I
So
don't think any religion does that, but people get that interpretation in their own heads.
yeah.
But I don't think any religion will tell that.
Mm.
Religion means to understand that God is there and He is omnipresent, pervading everything. So how you can hurt somebody?
Yeah.
Of course, Krishna tells Arjuna to kill others because due to the circumstances that uh, they attempted to have peace with everyone, but the Kauravas were intent on uh, throwing out the Pandavas from the whole country and establishing their rule over everyone. And because they were very not very good people, if they threw out the good people and made themselves the rulers, then the whole of civilization would go to hell. Future generations would all be controlled by those evil persons, evil mentality. Thus, they would lead generations after them to have that evil mentality. So Krishna didn't want that. I want the good mentality people to be in charge. Then
Mhm.
people will get the good mentality developed from uh, following civilizations. They will be starting from a good place, have good direction, good mentality, good thoughts in relation to religious principles, and not the atheists or unreligious principles won't prevail and influence so many people after them. Because they would not compromise on anything. They're uncompromising to as far as not giving even a pinprick of land to the poor Pandavas, so they can also practice their thoughts, their dharma. They wouldn't give even a pinprick of land to them. And then they had to fight. So in the case of good and evil, we have to take a stand. If this is evil, then it has to be. We have to fight that. Can't ignore. When it comes time that the evil will take over everything and destroy the good, then some fighting has to occur. Not like today. They are fighting, who knows what reasons lie behind that. On moral grounds, Krishna does not prohibit that. Anyhow, the different thoughts on this, but necessary to understand a little philosophy also, so that we may not judge these things simply in terms of emotional feeling, but some reason, some reasoning. What is the reason? What are we trying to achieve? What is our goal? The world existence is not our destination. That is the main thing. Not our destination to live out a worldly life. Our destination is a spiritual world, spiritual life, and loving relationship with the Lord. And whatever we could have to do to get to that uh, uh, condition, that state rather of our original existence, uh, our proper existence, I should say. Well, we try to do that. And Krishna is giving advice to those who are trying to come to that proper life, proper existence. Not everyone, of course, in this material world is interested in their spiritual destination. They think their destination is here in the material world, and they don't know that their destination is that higher, more perfect existence. Sat-cit-ananda. Not Satarajatama, but sat-cit-ananda. Difficult for those who are under the veil of the material illusion as reality. Difficult to get free from that. Attachment to that type of understanding. That is what happens. That is called consciousness. And our process is to change the consciousness. How do we modify consciousness? That is our process. How do we change our way of knowing things? A very deep process. Deep. I was thinking the other day, one verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham riti shani visto, matasmatir jnanam apohanam cha. You know that verse? Vedaischa sarvaya aham eva vedyo, vedanta krid veda videva chaham. Krishna is saying, Sarvasya chaham riti shani visto. I am living within the heart of everyone. Sarvasya chaham. I am. Chaham means I am. Sarvasya, all. Sarvasya chaham ridi. Ridi means the heart. Ridi shani visto. I am seated within the heart of everyone. Sarvasya chaham ridi shani visto. Then, matasmatir jnanam apohanam cha. Means knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness are coming from me. Knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. They are coming from him. They may think that it is our knowledge, our remembrance. Those who are on the transcendental platform, I was realizing, they know Krishna. They are living within the heart of Krishna. Their knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness is a superficial thing. For us, for the materialist, that knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness is everything. Their whole life is based on their knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Devotee is actually transcendental to that. That's coming from Krishna. But Krishna himself is beyond that. And they are ever situated in that plane. Not so much we have to concentrate on knowledge or remembrance or forgetfulness. The heart of a devotee is situated with Krishna. To understand that transcendental nature of the devotee is very difficult, therefore, if we live within the world of knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. The consciousness that only goes that far. Okay, anyone have any other? Teresa, you have any other questions? Did I answer anything for you?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, too confusing, huh? All these things.
No, it's just I like having these discussions because you learn new things and you keep your mind open.
Okay.
And I'm always
Challenging yourself.
definitely.
Good, good.
I love the puppy. What's the dog's name? What's the dog's name?
Oh, Rocky.
Rocky?
Rocky. Yeah, he's listening.
Oh, I know. I love when he pops in.
Making appearance.
Anything else? Raj, what would you like to add? Subtract?
Divide, multiply. No.
Thank you very much, Prabhus.
Thank you.
My humble Dandavat, please be well.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Dandavat, Maharaj.
Jai Gurudev.
Dandavat, Maharaj.
Jai Vaishnavindi ki jai.
Jai.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Happy Easter.
Thank you.
Sripad Bhakti Mala Puri Maharaj ki.
Jai Mahaswami.